It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Mary Lucia is in studio. Good morning, Mary.
Absolutely.
How art thou?
There's that voice. Sounds good in my cans. We're good, and we're already bitching about the Timberwolves. Go ahead. Let it rip.
All right, here's the thing. Now, at the beginning of the season, I knew that they were going to they were trading Walker. That upset me.
Yep.
And keeping Rudy, who at that point had not performed as we would like. Again, I get that he may have had 2 good years, but I'm not sure when that was or what team that was with. So it was like, okay, he's clearly a big salary. And then I start getting very, very nervous when they're like courting Ja Morant. It's like, do we need that? Because that's kind of like Ant Jr. in the maturity department.
Exactly.
So, anyways, but no, I'm obsessed with the Wolves, and I know that you expect more from Anthony Edwards, Steve. So he's disappointing you.
Well, if he's going to be the man, that means off the court. More importantly, let's lead the team. 2 straight fourth quarter collapses on the road. It's unacceptable.
I agree. I agree.
And even furthermore, he said he wants to be the man. Yeah. So let's go be the man.
You know, and honestly, too, there should be asterisks after games that we lose by 1 point. That kills me almost.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's horrifying, and we can talk all day about this. But Mary, you came here not to talk T-Wolves, so at least we didn't bait you with that. The memoir out today. What doesn't kill me makes me weirder and harder to relate to. I've said this a couple times because it's true. I read it a few months ago. I got an advance copy, and then I read it again, and then I read it again. Okay. And it's outstandingly roller coasterish insanity. And I want to say, as someone who's also written a book, I know it can be there's a lot that goes into putting all this stuff down on paper. My book is all about self-imposed lunacy. Yours is about self-imposed and external, and in ways I cannot even begin to imagine. So all this to say, difficult, healing, revealing. What did you least expect that happened as you wrote this book?
You know, I guess my working title, if this gives you any idea, while I was in the process of writing it, was Nothing Works, because there was literally, at that point, I saw no light at the end of the tunnel. I saw no hope. So it sort of didn't feel cathartic in a sense. Right. But in the same way, too, I promised everybody, I'm not writing 270 pages of like, I was scared and then I was terrified and then I thought, no, there has to be humor because I can find humor in hell. So, yeah.
So if anybody's unaware, I'll cut to the chase. You dealt with very sincerely and very seriously and very horrifically a stalker.
Yeah.
Not for a minute, but for years. And you go into great detail and everything that was happening and then also how it made you feel, and then punctuated with hilarious other stories from your life. Because life doesn't happen one lane at a time. You're still dealing with being a radio personality of your own, still dealing with things you just want to do and other things you might want to have in life. And yet this one thing is a shadow that was limiting and ultimately impacting every part of your life.
It was. And so if you are a radio host, and I think if you are good at your job, you're pretty authentic. You know, there's not a lot of hidden, I don't have a second persona. This is it. This is me. So whatever it was that I was putting out there, it was successful for me for 28 years in this market. Yeah. But it was also the very thing that attracted a very unstable person.
Yeah, for sure. And you also had to deal with a situation that anybody who's been in your situation probably goes, oh, of course, which is not being taken seriously. Oh, and I think in a certain way, there are certain levels where that has to be the worst part of it, because you are anyone in that situation is thinking, am I nuts? And then you're being told by other people's lack of concern, maybe I am.
Yeah. This is, or that somehow you attract these weirdos that sort of only you looch. But I think for me, it was really frustrating. I mean, starting at the top down, but with, the responding officers every single time I had to call 911, which was a lot. My favorite was the night that somebody had broken my storm door. I didn't have my cameras at that point, so I didn't know who it was. I had a good idea, but calling the cops 2 a.m, I'm standing amongst broken glass, and the cop says to me, "Are you sure you're his type?"
Oh, my.
And
Yeah.
then proceeds to say that bulb is illegal. The wattage of your motion light is because it could have lit Yankee
man.
Stadium, but yeah, it was. You know what? That's an illegal light bulb. And I'm just standing there. It was one of those things too where you had to retell the story and then get it like shorter and more condensed each time that the cops came out. But it really truly felt ultimately you had to be your own advocate.
Wow.
Mary Lucia is with us on Gorman in the Morning. What Doesn't Kill Me Makes Me Weirder and Harder to Relate to, a memoir, is available now in bookstores and wherever you buy books. You mentioned a very public life for years on the radio and doing it. And I would say especially the way you did it. Not to say, again, I'm not saying you attracted these people, but I'm saying, but your show was very like you.
Yeah.
You spent a lot, what you went through with your pets, with your family, with your friends, everything was on the table. And so I guess this is I don't mean to sound trite, but any regrets? Do you look back and think, and again, this is all on this guy who did this. I'm not saying you should have or could have done it differently, but take away the stalker. Looking at your career, what would you have done differently, if anything?
I have truly defined myself as a person who dreads everything and regrets nothing.
There you go.
Dreaded
Love
coming
that.
in
There
here,
it is.
but I'm going to have a big thumbs up when I leave. No,
Yeah.
every single thing in my life felt like but no, I don't regret anything. And honestly, I don't think that I would have even had a career in radio if I was, just some...
Doing bits.
Right.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. And then along the way, too, I should mention, these are not spoilers. Trust me, I'm just scratching the surface. Losing loved ones, family members.
Oh,
and
yeah.
again, it's like every lane of your life continues, even though there's this one thing that's just in the way.
And I mean, again, I'm not maybe I am making light of death, but I mean, you can find something funny in almost anything tragic. And I think also it's a good coping mechanism as well. But let's just go for the example of when Hal, our father, passed away. He was at home in hospice, and it was like 2 a.m, and you got to make that call to the mortuary to come pick him up. So my brother and I went out into the yard to sort of meet them, and we see this car creeping down the street, turns past the house, and starts walking up to a completely dark house, like the wrong house. We're standing in the yard, lights blazing, doing the dog whistle, like this way. I mean, there were so many absurd things that sure in the moment feel tragic, but I've always been able to take it and just go, well, that was ludicrous, and of course that would have happened. Yes.
Of course. It's you have to be able to. Yeah, well, I feel bad for anybody who can't find those moments.
Yeah.
I mean, they, whether they're happening to you or someone else, they're still funny.
Right.
You have to be able to, you got to find them.
In the moment, of course, it's quite near impossible because, again, you get pretty broken down if somebody tells you, I know everything you're doing. I know where you are at all times. You believe them because it's a person who is completely unafraid of any consequence. So why wouldn't they do what they say?
Right. Mary Lucia is in studio with us. You woke up this morning, you opened your eyes, first thing on your mind.
Rolling Stones.
There you go. Always.
Yeah, every day. There's nothing weird about that, right?
No.
No, and I feel like the biggest thing was that complete AI hoax about Mick Jagger endorsing the book. I mean, which is really a bizarre thing. I don't know if you saw this popping up in your feed, but 2 days ago it was Mick Jagger pledging $100 million to get the Epstein tapes released because he had read the book of Virginia. It caught my eye, and then I thought, Mick, is that something he'd do?
Yeah.
No.
But regardless, you've had the Rolling Stones on your brain first thing for many years now.
Absolutely.
First concert you ever saw?
My first concert and the first time I smelled weed, it was Aerosmith's Permanent Vacation.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my first time I smelled weed was my first concert. That was Heart, Dog, and Butterfly.
Well,
makes perfect sense.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. First, and I was actually offered a joint, and as an 8th grader, I went. What I said was, "No, man, I'm cool," but it sounded like, "No, I'm all right, thanks. No, I'm cool, man, thanks." It was more like that.
Okay, what was the first record you bought with your own money?
Beatles 6.
Oh, see, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
All right.
And by the way, I paid $4.44 for it at Drug Fair was the name of the store.
Nice.
Not that I can remember these sort of things.
Of course.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And you?
Mine would be, it's not as cool as the Beatles, but it's a cool record. Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Oh, fantastic. I did blow that cover.
You did?
There's a couple of good songs on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Mine has tiger stickers on it, not blow residue. But,
Fantastic.
And your first
9.
album with your own money.
Billy Joel's Glass Houses.
Oh,
nice.
I know, it judge away, but it's still rock and roll to me.
My sister gave me that album for Christmas because she wanted it, and she knew I'd be like, what the hell am I going to do with this? Yeah. Friday night I crashed your party. Saturday I said I'm sorry. Oh, who can remember the glory days of Billy Joel?
The salad days, as you say.
Yes.
Start to finish, soup to nuts, how long did this book take?
I would say 6 months to write, and then as you know, the
real writing comes after you write it.
Oh my God, in the process of trying to find a publisher, and if you're not like a person who's enjoying promoting yourself, which I am not, so
Same.
It was very difficult for me to I don't want to backdoor anything, so I was truly just sending them out blind, and that part of it was really a learning experience, of course, but then you go through the editing and you go through another edit, and then this book is cut in half, but I do trust the editors that they just thought we'll pack it all into a fun-sized grenade.
There is not one wasted word. There's not an extra moment. It is perfect. And again, I experienced the same thing. I turned in a book that's way too long, and at the first thought of editing it, I was so offended.
Of course.
You haven't even read it yet. This is 900 pages of gold.
It's so true.
But the truth is, two things come to mind, which is, when's the last time you recommended a book that you didn't finish yourself?
Right.
And then, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. And then, I don't remember the other one, but that's pretty good. So it's way better to have the reader go, I would keep reading, than to have the reader go, how many more pages?
Right, absolutely. Right. I've lost my place. I put it down. That's a really nice thing to say. I appreciate
this. This is my favorite thing I've read in several years. Since I got here, I'll just say this, in 3 years, this is my favorite book.
That is okay, as long as we're doing the thing. I'd read your book, and you know that. I kind of feel like authors might be the new rock stars in some sense, and photographers. But I remember reading your book and interviewing you, and it was really, really the same kind of feeling as that. I got to know you. I felt like I really knew who you were, not just as a person in a band. You have the same ability to display who you are in your writing.
Well, I would recommend everybody read Mary's book, and please leave her the hell alone.
I love you have my favorite blurb, and the whole thing is so
I
perfect.
was honored to have a blurb. I sent one in, but you never know if it's going to be on there. And I saw it, I was like, all right. But it's really true. Truly, it's a long overdue thrill to have you on the show.
Yeah.
Come on back in. Let's talk Wolves anytime.
Anytime.
I love that.
Okay, literally.
I think that's our new Wolves correspondent right
there.
There
It is, right there.
You have no idea what you
please,
in a heartbeat.
Write this down.
Well,
what doesn't kill me makes me weirder and harder to relate to. A memoir. It makes a great gift. Go buy a bunch of them, Mary.
Skippy.
Cheers to you.
Thank you, guys.
92 KQRS.
If you got a good roommate story or a bad roommate story, we'd love to hear it. 651-989-ROCK. The reason this is on my mind, a man in his 20s has gone to social media to ask for advice. And here's the story. This is completely insane. His roommate walked into the house. Okay, so I'll just put it in personal terms. You're at home. You have a life. You have a roommate. You leave. Your roommate comes in, and he sees a piece of cake that you've made and that you've placed in the fridge. And your roommate says, hey, I'm going to take a piece of this cake that it's not mine, but whatever. I'm assuming they probably get along. He just helps himself to a piece of cake.
Right.
The problem is the piece of cake caused the guy who took it to have an allergic reaction. He did. At no point did he call his roommate and go, hey, what's in this cake you left in the fridge? Hey, make sure you didn't put that thing I'm allergic to in it, which happened to be some nuts.
Or just, don't help yourself to my cake.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah.
So the roommate ate the piece of cake. The roommate had a bad allergic reaction. The roommate had to call 911. They had to hit him with an EpiPen. Apparently, because he has a peanut allergy, and he didn't think to double check with that, the cake did include peanut butter. The roommate who stole the cake, the roommate with the peanut allergy, the roommate who got sick stealing cake from his other buddy, is now asking the roommate to pay his medical bills because he says, you poisoned me by putting peanut butter in your cake. Okay.
What?
Sorry? I don't have all of the details on how close these two guys are. Well, I'm assuming they're not very close at all, because if you have a roommate and you know he has a peanut allergy, generally speaking, you probably wouldn't have nuts around. Or you'd get a new roommate because you want to have nuts around. I'm assuming they're not that close, because
they must not
either
be.
way, dude, if you have a nut allergy, why would you eat anything that you aren't 100% sure is nut-free?
That, and if they are close, then roommate who ate cake sends buddy quick text, hey, can I have a piece of your cake?
You would
B, is it safe for me to eat? Blah, blah, blah. Also, where is Buddy's EpiPen that he keeps in his own home because he's got these known allergies? That's another thing.
The point is, the guy is asking for his bills to be covered.
No!
Yeah, the answer is no.
No, not even close, bruh.
Sorry. Can't see it happening. We do have a caller, 65199 and Rock is a KQ Talk text line. John from Somerset. John, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm great, brother. What do you got for us?
All right. I used to manage a restaurant in western Wisconsin, and I lived in Egan.
Okay.
I had some roommates that were going to Brown. And I was on my way home from work. I got home. I walked in the door, and there one of my roommates was watching the entirety of the Trapped in a Closet video, sitting on the couch with a jar of mayonnaise and a spoon, cross-legged, just like it was his best friend.
Wow.
Wait, Trapped in the Closet, that's the R. Kelly thing? The R. Kelly videos?
Got it. And that sucker, he had it on VHS, and he was watching all of the segments.
What?
I was like,
It's like R. Kelly's soap opera, his musical soap opera series, and the guy's eating mayonnaise out of a jar?
Yeah. Just a little jar of Hellman's and a spoon.
I mean, this is what you get when your roommate's from Brown, the broadcast school of Minneapolis.
The first indicator is don't live with broadcasting students. My God. Oh, man. What do you say to that? Or do you just go into your room and shut the door and put a dresser across the front so nobody can get in there?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
The same roommate, when it came time for him to mow the lawn, you know, he went out to go. We all stayed in. We were smoking a blunt. And I look out the window, and there he is, just like you're vacuuming the floor, just radiating the lawnmower out from one central location.
Oh my!
I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life.
That's good stuff, John. Thank you for the call, man. We appreciate you chiming in. I had a roommate, a guy that I'm still friends with. So, but before I knew him and he had some quirks. He's an odd fella. He still is, but he's a good guy. But I walked into the house one night. And it was early evening, late afternoon. So it was like sun was just going down. But I opened the door and there was no lights on in the house, so it was darker in the house than it was outside. You know when you do that, you come in a little darker in the house, and I just opened the front door, not a light on anywhere, and from the back of the house, the kitchen, I just heard this every about 6 seconds. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I thought, is someone breaking the back windows? Is someone trying to break in the kitchen door? What? And I'm like, hello? And then I said hello a couple times, and I hear this, yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's my guy. That's Sean. I walk into the kitchen. He's standing in a kitchen that's even darker than the front of the house was. He's about 10 feet away from the kitchen sink. It was an old house, and it was a very deep sink. And he had a whole lot of drinking glasses arranged on the counter, and he was just one at a time picking them up and throwing them at a high arch into the sink where they would shatter.
What?
Every 6 or 7 seconds, just lobbing them. And I was like, I watched him do like 2 of them after he'd already thrown at least 5 or 6, and I'm standing behind him, and I just went, Bud, are we okay here? And he was like, just had a bad day. And he was just calmly throwing the glasses to shatter in the sink. And I go, why are you throwing glasses in the sink? And his answer was, so most of the glass is easy to clean up. Like he was thinking about like, I just was okay, I guess that's good.
Just draining threes, basically.
Oh, man.
At least he did the dishes.
Ooh, man, that's something right there.
Wow,
Think about it.
Something.
At least he did. Great and or horrifically weird roommate moments. Some better than others. Doug texted in, my roommate freshman year read my mail that I kept in a stack on my nightstand. I found out because he complained to a mutual friend that I had written to another friend that my roommate was in fact an a-hole. The friend had written back asking why I thought he was an a-hole, and that's the letter he read.
Wow.
Our mutual friend looked at him and said, "You read his mail?" And then he told me about the incident, and I just laughed. He pretty much proved my point right there.
Oh, yeah.
I had a roommate once who accused me of reading a letter. He said, "Hey, did you get that? Did you take that letter?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he told me that so-and-so said this is back when you would mail things in the U.S. mail. He said, so-and-so, some girl sent me a letter, and I never got it. And I went, "Well, what's that have to do with me?" He goes, "Do you get the mail every day? Did you take it? Did you read it?" And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And it was like for months he was always suspicious of me, and I thought that's the weirdest thing ever. But I couldn't get rid of him because we were in a band. But anyway, that's one of those funny things.
I said, well, there's that.
Yeah. Any roommates in your past?
You know, this one. So I had one roommate myself that we're not going to get into because it's nothing fun. But I had a friend who lived with a bunch of guys down in Uptown. Okay. In like my early 20s, a couple of years out of high school.
Yep.
And, just getting after it, living together. He had one guy named Ron. My friend will remain nameless, but there was a dude there in the house named Ron who was just absolutely nuts.
Okay.
And he apparently, I just happened to be there when this happened. He apparently got sick and tired of people. It's funny because it all started, and this is what made me think of it, with somebody eating a roommate's cake, right?
Okay.
He said, "I'm sick and tired of shopping for myself, putting stuff in the fridge, and you guys taking it." And so he goes, "See this gallon of milk?
Yeah.
This is mine. And if y'all want to try and drink it," I kid you not, drops his drawers, dunks his junk into the milk.
Nice.
To mark his territory, essentially,
All
saying,
right.
"If you wanna have the milk."
Look what I'm doing here.
That's Francis Sawyer level from Stripes right there. You touch any of my stuff, and I'll kill you.
Yeah.
That's where I thought that was going.
He's like, "You're welcome to have this milk," and then he went ahead and dunked his unit.
Well,
Did
I mean,
anybody drink his milk afterwards.
I can tell you. I mean, I'm never happier than when I'm drinking a glass of my own junk dip milk. I mean, that's just me. I didn't know that was other. I thought that was just me, like literally just me. I can't believe someone else had the same philosophy.
Very happy I didn't live in that house.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Twin Cities Civil War, ladies and gentlemen. We got an East Sider, we got a West Sider, and they are going to compete. I will ask each contestant a series of questions. They'll have 60 seconds to get as many answers as they can. The contestant with more correct answers wins Farm Aid tickets. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Is that making sense, Ryder?
Yes.
I always have to check.
We're only taking the first answer. You can feel free to answer before Steve finishes the question and, get the most right to win. And I have a killer tiebreaker today, so I'm not going to be bummed if that happens.
Okay, all right, great.
And a reminder, it's 60 seconds, and if you're stuck on something, feel free to say pass and move on to the next one.
Yeah, if we have time, we will circle back.
Yeah.
But let's get to it. Let's see. We got an East Sider named Mark in Columbia Heights. Mark, good morning.
Morning.
Ready to rock this bad boy?
Sports today.
Oh, give it a shot.
Sports trivia. All right, Mark, best of luck. A rider's going to count you in, and we'll be off and running.
All right, ready, set, go.
Name one of the 2 years the Minnesota Twins have won the World Series.
78 and 82.
Primarily designed to host Vikings games, this venue featured back-to-back sold-out concerts when it first opened by Luke Bryan and Metallica.
The U.S. Bank Stadium.
Which former Vikings head coach walked onto the field at TCF Bank Stadium in sub-zero temperatures wearing short sleeves for the coin toss?
I'll repeat that.
Which former Vikings coach walked onto the field at TCF Bank Stadium, sub-zero temperatures wearing short sleeves for the coin toss in the NFC wildcard game?
Pass.
Song by Minnesota band Gear Daddies about what type of machine is featured in D2, The Mighty Ducks?
Oh, boy, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Say it again.
Okay, what Gear Daddies song is about a piece of machinery you'll see at a hockey game?
4 seconds.
Oh, Zamboni.
Kirby Puckett appeared on what late-night talk show? Man.
2 of them.
Got 2. All right, Mark, strong effort, man. I know we're working fast, and that timer just really ramps up everyone's pressure.
What were the answers that he missed?
The 2 that were missed were name one of the 2 years the Minnesota Twins won the World Series. That'd be 87 and 91. Former Vikings coach that walked out in sub-zero temperatures at the NFC wildcard game, the one and only Bud Grant.
Short sleeves for Bud.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. All right, Mark, sit tight for a second. We'll see if
never know. Two might do it.
Mike from Lakeville coming in from the west side can top your numbers. Mike, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you ready to play this game, sir?
I am ready to roll.
All right, Ryder's going to count you in, and I'll start with the first question.
All right, ready, set,
Yep.
go.
How many times have the Minnesota Vikings played in the Super Bowl and lost?
4.
Most famous for his time at the Metrodome, named the Minnesota beer vendor with his own trading card and bobblehead.
Wally.
Fans at Alliance Field celebrate Minnesota United wins by singing what Oasis song?
Wonderwall.
Drafted by the Mets, retiring as a Yankee, Darryl Strawberry signed with what minor league baseball team in the spring of 1996 in an attempt to come back?
Saints.
Olympic medalist Lindsey Vonn began her skiing career at Buck Hill in this suburb.
Burnsville.
Rapper Lizzo's hit Truth Hurts was censored on radio stations in Green Bay for name-dropping which Minnesota team?
Vikings.
The St. Paul Saints mascot Madonna is what type of farm animal?
Pig.
During pregame announcements, public address announcer Bob Casey would famously remind fans there is no what in the Metrodome?
Smoking.
Who are the reigning professional women's hockey league champions? Wow.
Frozen.
Man, that's Frozen.
Dude.
Close. Real close.
Oh, freaking Mike, way to go, Lakeville. We are knocking it out of the park.
You know what?
Today.
We didn't get to it, but I'm just gonna see because Mike was on a tear. One last one for just to run out the side. Name the current head coach of the Minnesota Wild.
Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. Okay, now I'm blanking.
All right.
That's
You
okay.
want me to turn the timer back on?
Yeah, he already won the game. That's all good.
Mike, you just rattled through 8 for 8, so you're fine.
Wow. Well done.
Oh, so good. So
There's a lot of contestants in the Civil War, and then there's Mike from Lakeville. My
Legend.
God.
First legend born.
We appreciate you calling in, Mark, and giving it a shot, but this is Mike's day. Mike, you just won Farm Aid tickets for September 20th, brother. And that'll do it. All right, that's great.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. Oh, man, I am bummed about this tiebreaker. I want to give it to you guys, okay?
Okay.
Lay it on us.
All right, so it is December, and I feel like it might be unfair to Fletcher. It's December 12th, 2010. The roof on the Metrodome collapses because of a snowstorm that dropped how many inches of snow?
27.
Fletcher?
18.
Oh, Fletcher's so close. 17.1 inches.
Wow.
I remember the number being right in that area, so yeah.
I just thought, whatever I'm first going to think, go higher. And because I was thinking just a little over 17, and then I added more. No, that's not true at all.
Update to the Civil War standings. The West is up now by 1. And Mike from Lakeville, we're going to keep track of that one. 8 for 8 is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's the all-time mark set right for now.
That is fantastic. That was a good run right.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Waymo's on its way to Minneapolis. Waymo, the self-driving ride-hail vehicles. We don't have a launch date yet, but the robo-taxi company does want to come to the Twin Cities. They're saying Minneapolis. They're not actually saying the Twin Cities. I just assume that means St. Paul as well. We'll find out.
You can get to St. Paul from Minneapolis without taking the interstate, so I'm guessing that you'll make it over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, probably so. So Waymo is on the way. Which means you got to prepare yourself for way more headaches on the roads.
Maybe.
As we are going to be trying to deal with this. There's a nacho cheese joke in there somewhere.
For sure.
Hey, so Ryder, you have been in a Waymo, correct?
I have been in a Waymo, went on a quick trip to Phoenix, and they have Waymos there because everything's pretty flat. You can get places without getting on the interstate, and they don't have bad weather at all.
That's right, they don't.
Yeah,
And, if you don't count it's so hot your car might melt as bad weather, they don't have bad weather.
All the Waymos are white. Like a ton of cars, if you go to the Southwest, are white because it's easier with the sun and stuff like that. It was a little freaky when you get into the Waymo at first because it's not like a self-driving Tesla where you have someone behind the driver's seat.
Right.
There is nobody behind the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So you just watch that thing move all on its own. It's a little bit freaky. But I like as soon as they announced it was coming here, I'm like, oh crap, I should get this Waymo app now.
Right.
So that I'm ready to go in a year and a half when they're finally up and running.
Am I the only one who still gets stuck on when anytime the word Phoenix comes into a conversation, I say to myself every time, I can't believe that's the 5th biggest city in America. There's something about Phoenix being as big as it is.
That's because in our lifetime it wasn't, and so now it is. It's just crazy.
It's like when I was a kid and I got the Beatles' help. I was like, English people shouldn't ski. The Beatles on snow skis in the Alps. I was like, there's something wrong with that. Sure. There's something wrong with Phoenix being the 5th biggest city in America. Okay, I digress. So you did the Waymo. It was fine.
The Waymo was fine. Yeah.
I saw when I was in LA a couple months ago. They were everywhere. I mean, you see a Waymo at every red light you're in, at least one. And then I just saw some in Atlanta over the weekend. Not nearly as many as you see in California, but they were around, and they have so many spinning parts on them. Mm-hmm. Like there's cameras at all times. They are obviously doing the best they can to be incredibly safe. But that said, there are plenty of Waymo issues over the years in the cities where Waymos are operating. Yeah. Things go awry every now and again, and there's one specific thing I think we can all look forward to here in Minnesota. Which would be, we all know the Minnesota standoff.
Yes.
Sure.
You
go.
The 4 people at a 4-way stop, and nobody will take a jump. In San Francisco, 4 driverless Waymos walked into a bar. No, I'm sorry, pulled up to an intersection. You add an Amazon van that's double parked, and you get this.
The Waymo is stuck because the Waymo is trying to go behind the Amazon, but then it's stuck behind the Waymo, and oh my God, there's another Waymo. What's everybody gonna do? It is a Waymo standoff. What is gonna happen? Who's gonna win? There's 4 of them stuck. That Waymo came through. Woo!
It's just status quo for the Midwest here. 4 cars and nobody wants to go.
4 stuck Waymos, all just Waymoing at each other.
They're all the Waymos are all white.
Yeah.
When the flakes fly here, are the Waymos going to be able to see the other Waymos when there's white everywhere?
Yeah, because they'll be freaking dirty. This is why my family has never owned a white car, is because they get so dirty in the snow.
That's very true. That was a Don Gorman staple. Never get a white car.
Yeah. And what about black cars? They get dirty every other part of the year.
That's why my mom gets champagne, but it's really just snow-colored dirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Get a brown car, then it just is dirty.
So Waymos. So they actually they're testing here now. There's a few canaries going down the coal mine, correct?
They just got here, and they are. I checked to be sure. They chose this city at this particular part of the year because winter's coming, and they want to be able to test for all weather.
So don't be surprised if you see one.
Oh, my God. What could go wrong with snow, slippery roads, and driverless cars downtown?
Not much worse than what I see every winter around here, because I'm the guy who moved here and assumed everybody will be good in the snow.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, wow. How'd that happen?
Sorry about that.
Yeah. First week driving to KQ in January of 23, and I watched a guy go right off University, right into. I was like, hey, guy's never even driven a car, much less in ice and snow. It was one of the wildest things I've ever seen in my life. And I thought about stopping to help, but I was like, no, it's 4:15 and it's 1 degree. I'm not getting out of this car. I'm sorry. You're on your own, bud.
92 KQRS.
Local athlete, current or former. We'll open it up that you get 1 beer. You get to sit down in a booth at the bar of your choice. You're going to drink a beer, which when I say drink a beer, it really isn't one. It's as many as you need. And then you just hang with that athlete. Who is it? Who are you going with? I'll go to you first, Paul, because you got that wistful look in your eye.
No, I'm searching because there's so many. I mean, I could rattle off
don't
7.
Think, blink.
Marcus Foligno.
There you go. Foligno. You
Marcus
could probably still. We can make that happen.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of almost has, but yeah.
So, okay, yeah. Ryder.
Dead or alive, Kirby Puckett.
Okay.
Because, man, he could put back some beers, I believe, especially late in his game. But alive, I would have to say Marc-Andre Fleury, so we can talk about all those cups he won with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Wow, okay, fair enough. I'm going straight, recency bias being what it is, I'm going right with Ant-Man.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
Anthony Edwards, as long as he brings Ant Jr. See, I would want the dog there, too.
Yeah.
And then he and Chauncey could become buddies. That's my in with Ant. Ant's going to come to know me as like that uncle figure in his life. Steve's cool, man. I like that guy. And it's because Chauncey and Ant Jr. are going to become friends. It's like I learned this in preschool. You know, you become your new friends or your children's friends' parents. So that's how I'm going to get in with Ant.
Interesting. I love that you've put this much thought into it.
Yeah, well, it just occurred to me right now in real time, but I'm feeling pretty good about it.
I can't believe you didn't say Naz Reid and his dog. Because I feel like you've got the hookup.
I know, but see, here's the problem, though. I saw Naz Reid at the vet last year with his dog.
Oh, really?
And it's a little French bulldog. And it's kind of cute, but it's just too small. It's not a good match for Chauncey. You know what I mean? It's like I would worry he'd be a little too rough with that little Frenchie. Cute guy.
You are so selfless. Always putting Chauncey before yourself.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to do at all times.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Rank you very much. As it is Thursday, we welcome you to share your rankings with us on the Luther Westside Volkswagen Talking text line 651-989-ROCK. Today's topic, frozen pizzas. We're ranking them 3, 2, and 1. Let's dive in, shall we? Ryder, kick us off. You're number 3.
Okay, my number 3, and I feel like I just want to do 3 number 1s. I don't really want to do 1, 2,
I like
3,
that
so I'm
thinking,
going
sure.
in with this mentality.
Yep.
I know that is not allowed, though. So my number 3, and I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this, for putting it so low, is going to be Heggies.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
right.
and I might be a little skewed on this because I don't have Heggies at the house. I generally only have it like when it has been prepared in a pizza oven behind the bar at your favorite dive.
Yeah.
But always tasty.
Yeah.
Got it.
And you know what? Actually, Wally, our old friend Wally's already weighed in on this, the Luther Westside Volkswagen Talking text line. Unpopular opinion, Heggies is overrated. Their great reputation is based off being drunk in dive bars and paying $20 for an amazing burnt pizza. And he's not completely wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, Heggies is good pizza.
It is good. It is good.
I like a nice crispy crust.
That's like saying Michael Jordan's overrated because he could jump high. It's the whole experience is the whole thing to me. But Shaq's overrated. He's so tall, of course he can score. No, it's part of the whole it's a package.
But to Wally's point, and I will kind of agree with it, you're drunk and it's made in an amazing pizza oven.
Yeah.
And so it is good pizza. It's just not as good as some others.
I don't know, man.
I'm with Wally on this.
You say tomato, I say shut up and eat your pizza.
Hashtag I stand with Wally.
You're number 3, Paul Fletcher.
My number 3 is just plain, simple, old Jack's pizza, man. It's terrible. There's nothing great about it except it tastes fantastic and it hits the spot sometimes. It's got the one thing they do very, very well is their crust. It's got maximum crunch. There's not a lot of flop to it. The cheese to meat to sauce ratio is usually pretty good. It's just, it's thin, it's crappy, but sometimes at 10 o'clock it's fantastic.
Jack's. Can't say I have a lot of experience with Jack's frozen pizza.
I also do like that a lot of times in grocery stores they're $3 a pop.
Yeah, I was going to say
Boy, that helps.
Jack's wins on the price point for sure, and you can get a personal size. You don't need to buy a big family size pizza.
Okay.
That just
good to know.
Everything.
Oh,
good to know.
You have to get the whole thing. The whole thing is a serving size, unfortunately.
My number 3 is again. I mean, you say all this. It's so funny. Like of all the topics we do, this is the one we're all on the most eggshells about for some reason.
Oh well, yeah. This is serious stuff.
But again, I have to go with just don't think, blink, and the pizzas that have really impacted my life. So number 3 is DiGiorno, and I'll tell you why.
Because it's not delivered.
I don't remember the last time I had one.
Okay.
But the first time I had one, we made this quantum leap from cardboard crust to soft, thick crusted pizza at home. Mid-90s. This was, as I said, a quantum leap. I remember that as clearly as the first time I heard of something called wireless internet.
Wow.
Wait a minute, you're sending an email from a moving vehicle? How does that work? Wait a minute, this crust is rising in my oven? No way. That was groundbreaking. It was like watching a David Blaine trick. 1 minute my wristwatch is in his esophagus, and the next minute my pizza's crust is rising in the oven. It was mind-boggling. And I'll say this for everybody who doesn't remember 1994 or 95, whatever year they came out, people were talking about, have you had one of these DiGiornos? It really was a thing.
Yeah. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for the impact and the holy and the truly, oh my God, and like turning the light on in your oven to watch it, that was a real thing.
There's something funky about the sauce, but I'll tell you what, when they stuff the crust, the stuffed crust DiGiorno, Pretty tasty.
I'm just saying that was groundbreaking back in the day.
Yeah. You should be getting a stuffed crust pizza from a Devani's or a Pizza Hut or a Domino's.
Sure.
Does Devani's do stuffed crust?
I don't know. It should not be coming from a frozen. Frozen pizza should have thin crust. And I'm a fan of hand-tossed and thick crust when I'm ordering delivery.
Right.
But frozen pizza, it's supposed to be thin.
I get that. It's just like, next thing you're going to tell me Taco Bell's not real Mexican food. All right, moving on. Let's go.
Okay.
Number 2's, Ryder. What do you got?
Number 2 is going to be hailing from Wisconsin, the brew pub Latza Matza. It does, in fact, have lots of matza.
I would hope so.
It does indeed, yeah.
Lots of matza. See, don't know it. Haven't been there.
Wow.
You can get them at Holidays. You can get them at Menards.
All right.
You can get them at every grocery store.
Yeah.
What can't you get at Menards, Ryder?
I don't know. Nothing.
Man.
You can save big money.
Okay. That's what they tell me.
Yes,
all right. So I'm adding it to the list. Lots of matza. See, I got a lot to learn. Paul?
I don't have much to say on that yet, and I'll explain why later.
Okay.
My number 2 is a new one to me, but we dig it. Screamin' Sicilian.
Sure.
This just started popping up in our grocery store in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
And I think because it's relatively new, at least to our parts, it's on sale a lot, which I like.
Yep.
They've got thick pepperoni.
Oh, yeah.
And generally, I am 100% on board with Ryder that frozen pizza should be thin crust. But the Screamin' Sicilian, they do it right, man. And a lot of times I'll get that stuffed crust because I don't want to pay $40 for a freaking stuffed crust pizza, and so I'll get one for $9 at in the freezer section.
I haven't seen the Screamin' Sicilian in my neighborhood.
They got it at the Lunds around the corner. I've enjoyed it. It's good. No question about it. It does the job.
But should it be making his top 3?
Well,
100%.
My number 2 is just the old staple, Tombstone. Just there's your cardboard crust, there's your thin crust. The college staple, the White Castle of frozen pizza. When again you're drunk, Tombstone never lets you down. When you're drunk, you're desperate, and then he's your friend in the freezer. You're just like back in the day. It was like, holy crap, I can't even afford 2 of these, and it's there. And they had that old TV ad, the executioner. What do you want on your Tombstone?
Yes.
Pepperoni. Sure. I mean, come on, how cool was that? So, and there was the debate used to be Tombstone or Red Baron, and I was always like, put that Red Baron down. Give me a Tombstone.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Always a Tombstone guy.
The big thing for me about Tombstone is if you cut it right and you accidentally leave the cardboard underneath, and you can't. There's no difference in the taste. So
got it.
It tastes all the same if you leave the cardboard underneath it.
651-989 Rock. Let us know your top 3. Our buddy Serpico says my 1, 2, and 3 is Tombstone, hands down. Let's get to our number 1s, Ryder. What do you got?
Okay, a Minnesota-based one. This is the pizza that I have at home. This is the pizza that they have at the Eagles Club in South Minneapolis, so it's the one that I eat the most often. It is Giacchino's.
Okay.
You got a nice crispy crust. The red sauce is not overly sweet. It tastes like a great red sauce. Good mix of mozzarella and cheddar cheese on this thing.
All right.
And the hack from one of the servers at the Eagles Club was to put a little celery salt on it when it gets done.
Ooh.
So tasty.
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay.
What's it called again?
Giacchino's.
Giacchino's.
And this is a whole different experience than if you go to the restaurant in South Minneapolis and get pizza there or get pasta there. Don't sleep on that artichoke dip. It's so freaking good.
Okay, fair enough.
Never even heard of it, but it sounds good.
This is all information I have to pursue. I like this. Paul?
All right. For me, it's a no-brainer. It's the brew pub Latza Matza. Ryder was almost there. She had it at number 2. Over half a pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella, actual tomato sauce, actual meats or veggies, whatever your toppings. It's undefeated. It's the heavyweight champion of the world.
They do seem to have more cheese on this sucker than your average frozen pizza.
Wow.
And it's big, thick cut cheese. It's not,
Right. Okay.
Yeah, some of it looks like curds of cheese, and this is like actual cheese. Yeah,
fair enough.
All right, what you got for your number 1?
My number 1, look, I'm not pandering. I'm not trying to play new homer guy. Maybe it's recency bias, but I'm going with the Heggy 6-pack. It's the most recent addition to my frozen pizza experience in life.
All right.
My first weekend in town in January of 2023, I went to my buddy Stephen Hayden. He's been on the show. Went to his house to watch some football, and he goes, I got a Heggy's. And I said, what? He said, I got a Heggy's. And I said, what's that word? He said, Heggy's. I said, spell it. He spelled it. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he put that bad boy in the oven, and I was like, man, this is really good. And we knocked back 2 of those that night, watching 2 football games. And then I came back home, and the next night Had another one by myself, watching another playoff football game on the Sunday. I was like, I went right out and got another one. There's 2 of them in my freezer as we speak.
Of course.
Just, you know what? That's what it is. So therefore, accuse me of recency bias if you must, but that's my number 1.
All right. It's hard to debate.
I would just rank all 3 of mine as number 1 if I could. So the Heggies is right up there for me, too.
No one's mentioned a single thing that I wouldn't eat a lot of right now. Just put it that way, to be safe.
Even the Jacks.
I will, see, I got a list. I'm going to work through. I got homework to do.
It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder, 92 KQRS.
Bert Kreischer, a man often referred to as the Dave Matthews of comedy. Or maybe I'm just making that up. Bert Kreischer is joining us right now on the horn. Bert, good morning, sir.
By the way, I'll take that as a huge compliment. Obviously, Steve, I was a big Dave fan. Look, I grew up in the 90s, but I was in college in the 90s. But I saw him live at, I was doing some festival, and they're like, yo, Dave's playing on the main stage. And I was like, I'm going to catch Dave. I haven't seen him in, 20 years. Uh-huh. He looks fantastic. His energy levels are through the roof. And we both played Forest Hills, the tennis center, and he left me a bottle of whiskey and signed it. And he was like, I heard you like to drink.
That's fantastic. So here's my question. When you get a signed bottle from Dave Matthews, do you drink it or do you leave it sealed forever?
So, listen, you'll appreciate this, Steve. I had a young band on my podcast, and they're a punk band, Strawberry Fuzz, and they said they're the biggest fans of Dave Matthews. That's one of their biggest inspirations. So I was like, look, Dave Matthews was in a band. You were in a band. I'm an artist. We all understand the fragility of the fragility of art and what it would mean. And Dave Matthews didn't give me that bottle for me to hold on and it'd sit on the counter forever.
That's right.
He gave it to me to drink with this punk band. So I opened the bottle and I said, guys, let's drink Dave Matthews' bottle of whiskey. And they were like, shut up. I was like, that's what it was meant for. And by the way, I gave the Chainsmokers mushrooms. I haven't heard anything from them.
Oh, man.
Right.
I appreciate you. Hey, you were trying. You were setting them on the right path. Maybe they're still on that path. Maybe, I like the effort, man.
Thank you.
The Chainsmokers and mushrooms sound. Now I'm interested in hearing the next record. I'll be honest with you.
Kreischer mushrooms, nonetheless.
Bert Kreischer.
They're low grade.
Bert Kreischer, TV star, man. How about that? We talked about this last year when this thing was in the hopper, and now it's done. It's on Netflix today. First things first, the trailer, you in a pink pullover is not what I expected to see this morning.
Oh, it is a real Prometheus story. I don't even know what that means. It is a transformation story of look, I'm trying to use big words like I read. It is, it's everything's derived from my real life. The very opening scene's derived off a corporate gig I had to do in Vail, Colorado. The very scene in the first episode with T-Pain and Pac-Man is based off of me going on Conan and telling the world about Isla's first period. Right. It's like, I was an irreverent parent. I was sometimes blind to the effects I had on other people, more thinking of, trying to get to the next place, to the next spot. And then when I try to write the boat, I overcompensate like I have always done. Like, I'm the kind of guy when they go, you cut back on alcohol, I go, that does what I'm getting on testosterone. Like, I am never good at, just a middle fix.
Sure.
And so, I end up in a suit and tie by the last episode.
It's fantastic. Okay, so, Bert, the show's based on a lot of real-life events. You're playing an outsized version of yourself, which is a kind of a funny thing to even imagine saying that in reality. An outsized version of you is you. But that said, was it tricky to play essentially yourself? I mean, is it as easy as one might think? Because when you're on a set and there's cameras and there's a director and there's multiple takes, acting, even if you're acting like yourself, is not exactly the easiest thing in the world.
Well, I'll tell you what, obviously the talking parts, I'm really good, but I'm not a good listener. Anyone that's watched my podcast knows I do not listen. I interrupt. I want to tell you my story. And in the second episode is probably the most pivotal scene of the whole series. It kind of kicks off the series in that direction. And it's a listening scene. And I'm not a listener. And so as we're doing the scene, I'm hearing my wife in Video Village cackling at my acting.
Your actual wife, your real life wife.
My real wife. She's an executive producer. So I go over to Video Village at the end, like insecure. Go, what did I do wrong? And she goes, honey, watching you listen is like watching a bear roller skate. I understand what's trying to happen, but it's hysterical. She goes, your listening in this show is funnier than you're talking. And I was like, really? She goes, yeah, because you're acting like it's just hysterical watching you listen. And I was like, really? So yeah, that was my hardest part. There's a lot of listening in this. And interestingly enough, those are the funniest scenes.
You know, wow. for your wife, what freedom to have recognized and acknowledged many, many years ago, oh, he's not listening. I can get away with murder.
Oh, second date we went on a date with her best friends, Matt and Emma, and I went in and I was on, man. We went to an Indian restaurant and I was like, boom, guys, get to know Bert. I spent an hour and a half razzle-dazzling these people. We got done, got in the car, and I went, that went great. And second date, she goes, yeah, how would you know? You didn't shut up. You didn't let anyone talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, yeah, but they're not interesting. She was like, you didn't know because you didn't let them talk. And then I was like, okay.
Man, strong right there. Bert Kreischer's with us on Gorman in the morning. By the way, I should mention, Bert, you're hitting the road. You're going to be in Fargo March 14th at Shields Arena. A fine town, a good place to be in the month of March. Beats the hell out of January where it's like, we're going to be 40 below with the wind chill here tomorrow. So where are you calling from right now?
New York, where it's like Arctic temperatures. I tried to walk in Central Park, and I fell asleep in a snowdrift, lost a foot.
That's tough. That's tough. But you know what? A gamer. He's still on the horn at the right time. So you're a Florida guy, born and raised, went to college. How old were you the first time you moved out of the state of Florida?
25, 26.
Wow.
Yeah, I moved to New York. This is how old and childish I was. My buddy Tony Hernandez produced Freebird. He produces all my specials, right? We grew up in Tampa. We were living in New York. We moved to New York I was 26 years old. I'm doing stand-up comedy, and I get a phone call one day, and he's like, hey, I just quit my job, called in sick to work. It's snowing. We're getting drunk at the White Horse Tavern. And I looked outside, and it was snowing, and I put on snow gear, and me and my buddy went playing in the snow for the entire day, 2 Tampa kids playing in the snow. We walked all the way up to Central Park, bar hopping bar to bar, getting wasted in the snow. We had never been in snow before.
That's fantastic. And but any day that starts in the snow at the White Horse Tavern is a good day.
I mean, I miss those days. I'm on blood thinners right now. I got blood clots from flying, so I can't drink for 6 months. So, I'm in New York, white knuckling it.
Yeah, no, I've always said when you go to New York, you got to bring your drinking hat because by golly, that's a place that's built to drink. Pain-free.
Yeah, New York doesn't, in some cities, you go to Colorado, and it's okay, closing down the bar is just as fun as waking up and going for a morning hike, right? You go to San Francisco, you go to Northern California, closing down a bar is just as fun as waking up and going surfing in the morning. They're the same.
Yeah.
Then you go to closing down a bar in New York, there's nothing like it. Waking up early, it just smells like urine.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. With good reason.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
It's time for WTF. Wisconsin, Texas, Florida.
Yeah.
3 stories that all happened in one of those 3 states. Ryder, it's your game.
Okay, we're going to start off with one that answers the question, is that meat in your pants or are you just happy to see me?
High-priced meat heist caught on camera, and you will not believe where that suspect tried to hide the steak after allegedly committing the crime. Local 10's Rosh Lowe is live. He's in with this exclusive. All right, I can't wait to hear this one, Rosh.
Okay, so let's go shopping together, okay? This is a great kosher supermarket. Take a look here at all the meat, okay? But now let's get here to the brisket. Take a look at how big these briskets are, okay? Now we're just beginning. Imagine taking a brisket like this, right? And this is expensive stuff. This brisket's about 93 bucks. One thing to take it under your shirt like this. This guy, and it's all on video, was going around sticking it down his pants. And the store owner has a clear message for him. Take a look here at Kosher Kingdom in Monday, this guy goes up to the high-end steak aisle. Okay, there's more. There's also a massive brisket. I guess he was wearing loose jeans.
Big pants. I think they're like made for stealing, you know? He has them blocked. You know, they're blocked at the bottom so it doesn't go through.
This is the prime cowboy steak. And it's not a cheap piece of meat.
No, as you can see, it's almost $100.
What was this guy doing?
He came over here, looked around to see if anybody was looking, and he shoved it in his pants.
This is $77, but to shove it down your pants is not easy.
Yeah, we were shocked. That's why when he came back the one steak, I thought, okay, I got it back, what he stole. And then when we found out there was this thing in his pants, it was unbelievable. It's just like shocking.
Yeah, the store owner actually took to Facebook this morning, right? She's over there, and she said, look, enough's enough. We can't deal with this. We're trying to earn a living here. And this guy you saw there in the video just stuffing the meat down his pants, also getting away with wine. It was recovered, but by the way, he remains out there this evening.
Oh, boy.
We're live in Now, I'm Rosh Lowe, Local 10 News.
Honey, where's my stealing jeans? I can't find them anywhere.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I can't believe the steak bandit is still on the loose.
Yeah.
I mean, that brings to mind, of course, the middle school classic tube steak smothered in underwear, but that's a different joke for a different day. Wow.
I was very familiar with that one in junior high.
Sure you were.
Yeah.
And that $93 for a brisket, is that freaking real?
I guess so. That's some quality brisket.
Might need to get myself some meat stealing pants of my own. Okay, so there's that one, and then we're gonna move on to love triangle and bench presses at the gym.
Tonight, investigators say a possible love triangle turned violent and is making national headlines.
Last week, an woman was arrested after authorities say she threatened to drop a 25-pound weight on a woman her boyfriend was involved with at a gym. According to deputies, it happened at the 24-hour fitness in. Our Matt Doherty joins us live. Matt, you spoke with the suspect tonight.
Yeah, she tells me she's not ready to talk about what happened. Deputies tell me what happened at this gym could have been deadly.
Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, in this case, a 25-pound weight.
This is 25-year-old Erilyn Martinez, who the Precinct 4 Constable's office says could have killed a woman during her workout last week.
Not very often with weights and not very often at a gym.
Captain Juan Flores says it appears Martinez was overcome with rage at the 24-hour fitness on the night of January the 6th.
So they were probably just using the facility at the same time.
Martinez apparently saw a woman she recognized working out on the floor.
These two individuals don't necessarily know each other to our knowledge.
That's when they say cell phone video shows Martinez take a 25-pound weight, rush toward the woman on the ground, then say, quote, "I'm going to drop this plate on you," then throw the plate toward the woman's head. Captain Flores says the woman on the floor moved out of the way just in time.
So luckily, people that were around stepped in and calmed the situation.
After that, Martinez left the gym, but was later arrested.
If you make the bond, don't go back to that gym.
Martinez is currently free on a $1,000 bond. And I'm Matt Doherty, 11 News.
Poor old reporter Matt does not sound excited to have to go do the gym love triangle.
He really
story.
didn't sound good about that. She is being held without bond, and my prescription is in and waiting for me to pick it up. I need to pep up. Nothing like announcing your intentions. I'm going to drop this 25-pound plate on you. If you wanted to hit the woman, keep your mouth shut.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm glad she did. No one wants to see someone's head caved in, but good Lord.
Yeah, I think that's one of those situations where it was all bluster.
A short little spitfire, it looked like, though. Like she was definitely going to call herself out.
Wow.
Man, I learned a lesson early in life, which is if you're going to break up a fight, make sure it's two dudes. Dead serious. Do not think you can break up a fight between two women.
Nope.
It will not end gladly. It will not end well for you.
All right, here we go. Last one. A little something extra in the Uber delivery.
Let's begin at 4 with a stomach-turning surprise for an Uber Eats customer.
He tells us he opened up his order from a Japanese restaurant and was grossed out by what he found in the bag. Ian Margol is live now to tell us about the disgusting delivery in a one and only exclusive. Ian.
Calvin Laurie, he was expecting to get his Japanese food, and it was in the bag. The problem is there was something else in the bag that was absolutely disgusting.
It's disgusting, unhealthful, it's potentially deadly.
Leo is beside himself after he got a little more than he paid for with his Uber Eats order Sunday night.
What do you do if you find this in your food?
Just before 10 p.m., he placed the order from a nearby Japanese restaurant through the Uber Eats app, and when it arrived, he walked out of his hotel to meet the delivery driver.
I grabbed the food, and right when I got the food, she struck off running. And I was like, that was kind of odd.
Brushing it off, he walked up to his hotel room and opened the plastic bag. In it, he saw his food in a brown paper bag and something else.
I thought this, when I was pulling it out, I was like, this sure is a fancy napkin.
But it wasn't a napkin at all. It was a pair of thigh-length underwear stained with what looks like human feces.
Ugh.
Disgusted, he threw them back into the bag and called Uber, the restaurant, and the police department. All of them apologized but said they couldn't really do anything about it, but Leo said that wasn't good enough. So he called Local 10, saying he wanted to make sure people were aware of what happened.
Any other thing, you can let it pass, but that's not a joke.
Live at Ian Margol, Local 10 News.
So turned your stomachs. All right, thanks a lot.
There you go.
Okay, I don't think that's the restaurant. That sounds to me like the Uber Eats person.
Yeah.
Right?
For whatever reason.
Yeah, Uber shut down the driver's account so they can't do Uber Eats deliveries anymore. But these are like bloomers or something.
The way they were describing it and the delivery girl ran off, I thought it was going to be plutonium. I was like, I was not expecting just
not a stink bomb.
Yeah, no kidding. Holy smokes.
I couldn't get over the lead anchor. Just like the way he was getting after it. It was a Local 10 exclusive.
Man,
these were all exclusive, and they were all real excited.
That'd be tough for me because I'd have to think about like, okay, well, what am I going to stuff up my nose so I can still eat this sushi? Okay, there's Ryder's version of Wisconsin, Texas, Florida. If you know which states these three stories occurred, Wisconsin, Texas, or Florida, Ryder has thrown 3 clips our way.
Oh, boy.
It's time to determine where these all went down. Brenda from Maplewood called in. Apparently, she is on the money. She's got all the right answers. All right, let's see what we got, Ryder. A quick recap.
Okay, we started off with a thief who put 2 cuts of meat, both worth damn near $100, and a couple of bottles of wine down his pants. Where do you guys think that happened? Wisconsin, Texas, or Florida?
Against my better instincts, I just think big slabs of meat. I think Texas. So I'm going the Lone Star State.
What are you thinking, Fletcher?
I don't know why. You know what? I don't have a reason. I'm just guessing Florida.
All right, Brenda, what's the answer?
The crazy state of Florida.
Okay, there's one for Fletcher.
All right, take it.
Fair enough.
All right, then we got the love triangle at the gym. Things getting feisty. Wisconsin, Texas, or Florida? Steve?
I'm going Wisconsin. It's so anti-Scotty, so not Midwestern.
Okay.
It could only be like the outlier. So just because it shouldn't be Wisconsin, I'm going to say Wisconsin.
Okay, I feel like I picked up on a familiar voice in the clip. It sounded like one of our favorite sheriffs, so I'm saying Florida.
Brenda?
That'd be Texas.
Oh,
man.
Tejas.
Was that not Grady in there? It sounded like Grady. Okay. Dang it.
You got to listen to some more Grady Judge, I think.
That's
that
what
does
it
not
sounded
sound like him. All right, and then finally, a little bonus. Some soiled underwear delivered with the Uber Eats sushi.
Ugh.
Wisconsin, Texas, or Florida?
I mean, that could be... boy. Okay, so the was a Japanese restaurant. Who knows? I'm just gonna pray I get one right, and I'm gonna stick with Wisconsin.
Okay.
For me, I always apply this rule. Anytime the crazier, the more bizarre that it is, it's Florida.
Well, Ryder said the word bloomers, so I'm just going Wisconsin. What do we got, Brenda?
Florida it is.
Man.
There you go.
They're completely, absolutely insane in Florida. So,
0 for 3.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're not in Wisconsin?
Not like that. No, not Florida weird.
Gorman in the morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.